Talking News. Subscribe, like, share.
Hey guys, welcome to Talking News, and I have a very sad story. They're always sad, but this one, it's a child, so it's always really bad. So we have Duke Flores, who is 6 years old, that was reported missing Thursday. But what's strange about this story is the fact that the mother was not the one that reported him missing. It was a family member that actually reported the child missing, and police come out to the house. They talk to the mother, and the mother says, she don't know where he's at. She lives in a home with her son, her husband, and her sister. She says, she tells the police that he vanished 8 days ago. She was scared to tell anybody that he went missing. Duke is described as being a light-skinned Latino who is 3'10", with brown hair, brown eyes. He is tall for his age. His family told one of the news journalists that Duke has autism. He also likes to play hide and seek. The family is hoping volunteers will help them search far and wide, and this was last Saturday. They describe him as a vibrant, loving boy. He's only 6 years old. Place yourself in our shoes and come help, says a family member. And I'm going to run a quick clip of one of the family members pleading to the public.
So for the public, we're just pleading. We know that you're out there, Duke. We're not going to give up, Papa. You are an innocent child. If anybody has him, please let him come home. He is an innocent baby.
Okay, so in Apple Valley, California, as the search continues for the 6-year-old boy with autism, his mother and aunt have been arrested in connection to his possible murder. And what is very sad about these type of stories is we're seeing more and more things like this where parents are afraid to come forward. And I think that we need to make it easier for parents to come forward if they feel they might have accidentally hurt their child when they've lost their temper and things like that. It makes for a better chance to save the child's life. If the parents are scared to call the police if they've accidentally hit them too hard or did something harsh that they didn't understand would be so devastating, I think that we would be able to save these children, some of them. So I think that's what you're going to find out with this story. I'm not positive. This is the part where I talk about the news. And, we try to figure out why this is happening. And possibly it sounds like to me that a lot of cases lately, parents are punishing their children and they're doing it a little too harshly, in some cases on purpose. But we need to make sure that we have something that gives parents the opportunity to have a lighter sentence if they come forward, so that we can have a chance to try to save the child's life. In the case where the parent is afraid to call police, it's just an automatic failed system. I mean, we've dealt with AJ lately. I've not been able to cover that case, but that one was very heartbreaking. It really was. We could see pictures where the kid had bruises all over his face, and the system failed that child. And then you have Noah. I think, that was a domestic violence case. They were not addressing that case correctly, as the mother was not a great mother, but she also had fear in her life. She feared the man in her life, so therefore felt like she could not come forward. We've got to make better programs, especially for parents and children. If you have not read Noah McIntosh's story, you might want to check out the videos. I have early videos. I haven't been able to update those stories, but I do have stories and videos from the beginning when it all started. As for AJ, you'll have to keyword his name, AJ, and you know, maybe you probably already heard about it. To be honest with you, it's a very it's in the spotlight. It's talked about a lot. So I just feel bad for these kids. And now we have Duke, where the family members had no concern whatsoever. The community had no concern that his parents would be, a threat to the child. But here we are, the mother is arrested along with her twin sister. Two people that were unlikely to have been in this situation. So we need to ask ourselves, why are we here? I hope the police do a lot better job than they did with Andreen McDonald, I can tell you that, or Kelsey Barrett, because those two investigations was a complete nightmare. Now, I'm making this video with the thought that perhaps maybe he is still alive somewhere, because the family really believes that the kid may still be alive. This might be an actual missing persons case, even though police and investigators are searching the dump and landfills for the boy's remains because they believe this is a homicide. So Duke's family says they are still hoping the 6-year-old is found safe. The boy's uncle, Angel, says the family is having trouble wrapping their heads around his disappearance. Angel, the uncle, says, "I've known that kid since he was a baby. I remember I used to carry him in my arms. It's emotional. I'm trying not to break down at this moment. I'm still staying strong for him." As he quotes, how he feels about his missing nephew. So it's a really sad story. Okay, I'm going to run this clip for you. This is going to tell you more about the sister and the mother that are involved with Duke.
It's just like nobody knows.
Duke's grandmother, Lydia Gutierrez, who hadn't seen the child in 10 days, asked Apple Valley Police to conduct a welfare check Friday at the home Duke shared with his mother, father, and his mother's sister. It yielded no sign of the boy. Duke's mother, who answered the door and said she hadn't seen Duke, who is autistic, in a week, was arrested on child endangerment charges for not reporting him missing. Duke's father is said to be very ill and unaware of the developments as investigators searched the home, towed away 2 vehicles, and took clothing and evidence. Meanwhile, family members continue to search and pray for Duke's safe return with no suspicions of the mother.
That's her, pride and joy right there. I think he just took off.
We just need help finding him. That's what I asked for. That's the main thing, is finding Duke and making sure he's okay.
However, Saturday, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department announced Duke's 29-year-old mother, Jackie Raquel Contreras, was booked on suspicion of murder. Officers also arrested Jackie's twin sister, 29-year-old Jennifer Rachel Contreras, and booked her on suspicion of murder as well. Family members who have gathered are organizing search teams. They're in a state of disbelief.
Well, it's sad. It's sad, but we're not believing that. That could be just what they're saying, but we're not believing that.
Searching. I got my shovel back there. We'll find him. We'll bring him home.
Family members are gathered here. Several sped off in a caravan, saying they were heading out to search over on Central Avenue. Investigators won't say exactly what has led them to believe that little Duke is dead. Family members here tell me that his father is still in the dark. They're not sharing exactly what's going on. Police won't say why they believe Duke is dead, but family members say they will be here tomorrow throughout the weekend searching in hopes of bringing any remains of him home to lay him to rest. Meanwhile, his mother and aunt are being held without bail. Live in Apple Valley, Narissa Knight, back to you in the studio.
Okay, that's a very sad story, but before we talk about that, I want to mention that they had a vigil Friday night, and family members told KTLA Duke has autism and had wandered away from home in the past. So this is something he's done before. So what I'm hoping for is that police are still treating this as a missing persons case, and possibly he is out there somewhere. Somebody could have picked him up. We don't know. We can't just automatically assume because of the stories that are headlining lately, is there's always a tragic ending. His grandmother Lydia said she hadn't seen her grandson in 10 days. So 10 days is a long time. It took a very long time for these parents to report this. Authorities have remained tight-lipped about what evidence they have to indicate the boy is not here any longer. So maybe they know something we do not. But we've heard nothing as to why they think he's not missing and he is deceased. I just hope they would give us something, anything. It's not fair to let these people out there taking off of work, volunteering their time out there looking for somebody that isn't there. So hopefully police will work with the public a little bit better without jeopardizing the case. Now, according to some sources, the two women will be in court sometime today, so we should hear something later on. I don't know if I'll be able to update this story. A lot of these stories I put out here is just to try to help get their face out there. I have a lot of stories and I have to choose a handful to cover, in more detail, because I just can't do but so much. I know we're all hoping and praying that little Duke comes back home safely, safe and sound. Let's cross our fingers. There's always a chance for a miracle. We've heard of miracles for our whole entire lives. It can happen. Sending out blessings to the family. I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share this boy's face, especially if you live in that California, the area that the family's from, and hopefully we can get answers quickly. See you soon.
Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.